see different characters in film, there's an understanding that the audience needs to be able to believe that this is a well-written, in-depth relationship that you could buy. You could tell that it is a real relationship, right? And then it's always really off-putting when it's like two actors that aren't probably getting paid enough. It's an indie film and they don't know each other that well at all. They probably don't know what it's like to have a sibling. That's my transition. That's what I'm talking about in this video. I feel like I don't have to explain this one too much. Like, if you have two eyes on the front of your fucking head, you should be able to see why I put this on the list. But Dipper and Mabel Pines. Oh my god, I have never seen like a more better and accurate representation of how siblings interact with each other in my life, which would make sense given that the creator, Alex Hirsch, he's also a twin himself, and he said that Dipper and Mabel are based on him and his sister Ariel from when they were kids.
Making the twins actually like each other was the fundamental bedrock of the series.
Anything can go wrong between them, but like, or they get in fights or something bad can happen, but if all that falls away, like, they will always have each other's back.
They like each other, they're also so familiar with each other, they know the other person will forgive anything. So like, Dipper can just do this to Mabel, right? Mabel can just do that, they don't care, right? Like, that's the thing you have when you're twins. I think if you're like older, younger, like younger sibling does this, and they're like, what's wrong with you?
Stop it.
But it's we don't care.
Which is so cool. That's such a cool fun fact. I love that. That's just fucking sick. They're two very, very different people. Like, Dipper is this very analytical, logical, he likes mysteries, he likes solving shit, like he's a bit of a nerd. And then Mabel Pines is like this bubbly, bright, sunshine, fucking different breed of a social butterfly. Oh my god. She has all this faith in like the universe and people, and she's really optimistic. So they're very two different people. What I like so much about Mabel and Dipper Pines is that they have each other's back no matter what. Like, no matter what situation they both find themselves ending up in, the other one is there to basically bail them out and be like, nah, I got you, we got you, we're gonna do this together. This is a little bit more of a complicated relationship given the absolute shithole that is the Undercity. We're talking about Vi and Powder from Arcane. There's a whole lot of shit I could go into with this because video game adaptations in film is like a hefty topic that I'm not gonna get into today because then I'm not leaving this room ever again. So Vi is the oldest, her parents have kicked the bucket. Vi is this like big buff fucking fighter chick, right? And she's been put in a situation where she has to fight for everyone. She's gonna protect her clan no matter what, which is including not limited to Powder. And Powder is like, I think they said she's like 9 to 12 in the first season, so she's a kid. She's relying heavily on Violet at this point. But they have a big fight and Violet basically fucks off to immediately turn back around and be like, oh, I gotta go back with my sister, what the fuck am I doing? And then she gets kidnapped and then thrown in jail, which is not ideal. So Powder's left by herself and she thinks I've been abandoned, and then she deals with a lot of psychological issues throughout the show. I chose this relationship because once Vi gets out of prison, she is stopping at nothing to get back to Powder. Like, that's her main motivator. She's like, I need to find Powder, I need to find Powder, I need to find Powder, she's been kidnapped, I need to know she's okay, da 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 da. And it's just, don't give up on your siblings. Like, it's just fight for them, sort of thing. Like, it's a very strong relationship, though there's a lot of distance and there's a lot of like emotional turmoil between the two, and I really enjoyed it. And also, I need to mention for Arcane, the writing in that show was incredible. Like, fuck me, holy shit, dude. Because they have this character, Jinx, who is like this Harley Quinn-esque type of manic pixie dream girl, or nightmare girl, more accurate. But you have this character who's designed to sell games, t-shirts, and probably questionable designs on body pillows. And then the writers had the job to be like, okay, how do we change this into a character with depth and like goals and history and all this shit that's happened to them without losing the main component of what the inspiration was. Like, and they did phenomenal. I have no idea, because look, I'm not a writer. This is nothing. This is just a bunch of words on a piece of paper and I've highlighted it to make it look pretty and look like it's coherent. It's not. I don't know what I've written down here. Writers are fucking insane for that. Like, I cannot express... Arcane is probably the most well-written series I have ever seen in my life. I'm just putting it out there. Like, it is crazy to me that that a Netflix adaptation of a video game is this fucking good. Holy shit. So 3, okay, this one's, you're gonna question me for this one, because it's probably, I just think it's really funny. I've chosen Courtney and Norman from Paranorman, and anyone who's watched that movie is probably thinking, what the fuck do you mean? This is probably like the worst one you could have picked, but I pick it. Just wait, dear viewer, I pick it because this is what every sibling relationship is like when you were, it's what it's like when you are a kid. When you are a kid, this is it. You're at each other's throats constantly. You're annoyed by the most mild thing that probably wouldn't matter ever in any other situation. Hey, can you put this in the oven for me? I don't know. Fuck off, I'm watching Zoella. Did you drink the last Yakult in the fridge? The one that I specifically said I dibsed? That was mine? Maybe I did. You should have been quicker. You sick son of a bitch. Can you tell that this is really based off my childhood, this little interaction? I bet you can't. If you're still living through that right now with your sibling, then I'm convinced that the first 17 years of your life is hell and agony, and then once you hit 17, you kind of have this moment of humility where you're like, I actually don't mind you that much. So if you're still going through that, just wait. A couple more years. You got this, dude. I believe in you. At the end of the day, Courtney has Norman's back when the whole world is against him and the whole town is like, you're cursed, we want you dead, da 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 da. She's the only one that's like, shut the fuck up. Like, these are two very different people that up until recently haven't had a lot of like understanding towards each other. But then when the moment came down to it, she was like, I have your back. Have your siblings back. Just, it's good. OJ and Emerald from Nope. This one's a fun one. Daniel Kaluuya and Keke Palmer fucking nailed their roles. Basically, at the start of the film, OJ's working on a farm with his dad. He's like this rustic, get shit done type of guy. And then his sister is like complete opposite direction. She wants to be an actor, she's a singer, she does dancing, like she's got a completely different lifestyle going on. They're very different people. But at the start of the film, OJ's dad dies. That kind of brings OJ and Emerald back together, and then just seeing them interact, they sell siblings so fucking well. Oh my god. Like, this is just a brilliant example of two people being completely different from each other but still getting on so well. Like, these two characters have been through some shit together. They respect each other, but then also could just take the fucking piss out of each other. Like, it's so funny to watch.
Can you stay out here?
Why?
Fuck you.
No, fuck you.
But what I really like about this film is that sometimes in families, some siblings will get overlooked by their parents. There's a whole lot of levels to that, but at some point in the film, Emerald's talking about how there was a horse named Jean Jacket that she was meant to train. That was meant to be her first ever horse to train. And then they got a deal last minute, and so suddenly it wasn't hers to train anymore, and OJ ended up having to help instead of Emerald. She talks about how in the film, her dad did not look up at her, he didn't even acknowledge her. She was watching from the window the whole time, was looking down, could see the whole thing, and then he just never looked up, but OJ did. OJ did look up at her. And then at the end of the film, because they end up naming the alien Jean Jacket, and just this last look that they give each other, it's him saying, this is your Jean Jacket, this is your chance, I trust you to do this enough. And that's just, it's just that camaraderie, and it's giving them like the respect and trust that maybe your parents didn't give you. That's what that is to me. And I love that scene so much. Like, there's so much emotion going on, and it's fucking mint. It's good. Sorry, my runner-ups are Finn and Jake from Adventure Time, Thor and Loki from Thor and or Loki, whatever your sexual preference is. Sakura and Katara from The Last Airbender. All of the brothers and Brother Bear, including later on when it's just Kenai and Koda when he gets turned into a bear, but also like Sika. Fuck, I forget what the middle kid's name is. That's on brand. All of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in all media forms, in all movies, in all shows. Yep. I really enjoyed making this video. It was really fun. I kind of got inspired to make it because it was my sister's birthday recently, and I was like, that's a good idea. Also, if there's anything I've missed, leave like a comment about it, because there's so many different examples that I didn't even cover. I just kind of picked the ones that I relate to. But yeah, if you have one, drop it down there.